facility of joining the AGM through video conference is being made available to members on the first-come, first-served basis. The proceedings of this AGM shall be deemed to have been conducted at the registered office of the company. All members who have joined this meeting are by default placed on mute mode by the moderator to avoid any disturbance arising from background and to ensure smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. Once the question and answer session starts, the names of the members who have registered as speakers would be announced one by the moderator. Thereafter, the audio of the speaker member will be unmuted by the moderator. Before speaking, the member is requested to ensure that the audio and video on the device is activated. If for any reason the member is not able to connect through video, the member can speak through the audio mode. If for any reason the speaker is unable to connect, then we would invite the next speaker to join. The registers, as required under the Companies Act 2013, are available for inspection on the website of CPCL. I would now read the extract from their auditor's report. The report of the statutory auditors, the secretarial auditor, and CNAG comments form part of the annual report 2021-22, which is already available with the members, and with your permission, I take them as read. The independent auditor's report on standalone financial statements of the company is available on page 110 to 119, and on the consolidated financial statement is available on page 183 to 189 of the annual report. The auditors have given an unqualified report on both standalone as well as consolidated financial statements of the company. The report is signed by Mr. P. Rangaramanujam, partner, Mrs. Padmanabhan Ramani and Ramanujam, statutory auditors of the company, on 27th April 2022. Mrs. A.K. Jain and Associates, the secretarial auditors of the company, have submitted the report dated 30th May 2022, which is provided on page numbers 104 to 106 of the annual report. The response of the company on the observations of the secretarial auditor is provided on page number 73 of the annual report. The Office of Comptroller and Auditor General of India had carried out supplementary audit of the standalone as well as consolidated financial statements of the company and has given nil comments thereon. The CAG comments also form part of the annual report. Thank you.
Dear esteemed shareholders, welcome to the 56th Annual General Meeting of CPCL. Let me begin by extending my best wishes to each one of you for the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. As the economy continues to rebound from the devastation caused by the pandemic, India's oil demand is projected to increase to approximately 5.2 million barrels per day during the current fiscal, a jump of by nearly 8% over the last year. Further, domestic oil demand is projected to rise at the fastest pace in the world to reach around 9 million barrels per day by 2040. Moving on to CPCL's performance in 21-22, your company achieved a throughput of 9.04 million metric tons per annum in 21-22 as compared to 8.24 million metric tons per annum in the previous year. During the year, your company recorded an increase in direct sales by about 11% from 570 TMT in 2021 to 631 TMT. This growth was possible because of introduction of new value-added products like mineral turpentine oil MTO, apart from the wide range of products like propylene, paraffin wax and pet coke. As far as energy conservation measures are concerned, we have made critical inroads this year. The Energy Intensity Index, EII, improved to 96.2 as compared to 102.3 in the previous year. Operational availability was enhanced during the year to the extent of 96.5% as compared to 92.6% in the previous year, which are a result of successful implementation of the reliability improvement strategies. Your company continuously strives to create an intrinsically safe ecosystem by adopting the best practices in the industry. This focus has translated into incident-free 1,060 days and fire-free days numbering 932. Coming to CPCL's financial performance, it is heartening to note that your company has achieved the highest ever turnover of rupees 60,402 crores with a profit before tax of rupees 1,832 crores and a profit after tax of rupees 1,342 crores. During 21-22, CPCL's contribution to the exchequer was 18,922 crores. The average crude prices increased to nearly $78 per barrel in 21-22 as against the $44 per barrel during the previous year. I am also happy to add that the impressive performance from the previous year has continued during the first quarter of the current fiscal, that is 22-23. Coming to dividends, I am glad to share that on the back of a good all-around performance and profitability, the board has recommended a dividend of 20% to the equity shareholders. As regards CapEx performance, during 21-22 is concerned, CPCL achieved a CapEx of Rs 635 crores against the 583 crores during 2021. Your company is also setting up a new grassroots refinery of 9 million metric tons per annum capacity at Nagapattinam in JV mode with Indian Oil and other strategic partners. The new refinery will be built at an estimated cost of Rs 31,580 crores and will produce BS6 petrol and diesel and polypropylene as a value-added product. The project is expected to be completed by June 2025. Speaking about human resources, your company believes in holistic and meaningful employee engagement and the development of its human resources. As a responsible public sector organization, your company also believes in constantly going beyond the realms of business to contribute to the business development and well-being of the society. One of our CSR focus areas has been education and the skill development sector. We have been delivering best-in-class training programs at CPCL Refinery Engineering School of Training, Resort. Over the years, on an annual basis, about 25,000 hours of knowledge sharing sessions are conducted through multidisciplinary participants. Your company is also a pioneer in skill development, running its Polytechnic College to impart high-quality, industry-based technical knowledge to develop the competency skills. Every year, around 200 students pass out from the Polytechnic. Keeping in sync with the triple objectives formulated by the Government of India under the procurement of schemes for MSME, CPCL has consistently exceeded the 25% MSME procurement target, including SC/ST and women MSMEs for 3 years now. I must underline that your company complies with the guidelines issued by the Department of Public Enterprises as applicable to public sector undertakings, the details of which are provided in the corporate governance report forming part of the annual report. Let me assert that your company is focused on strengthening infrastructure, improving operational excellence, implementing best practices, and enhancing network productivity. As we move forward, the focus will be on strengthening the existing businesses of refining. Speaking of the future, I must share that CPCL is completely aligned with the national green priorities, and we are already working on various initiatives to mitigate our carbon footprint and move towards net zero. While traditional ways like tree plantation drive are in place, your company is also exploring green hydrogen technologies, biofuels usage, compressed biogas facilities, and other sustainable energy horizons. Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank the Government of India, particularly the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, your holding company, Indian Oil, and Nafritran Intertrade Company Limited for their continued support. I must also thank the Government of Tamil Nadu, Controller and Auditor General of India, the Central Vigilance Commission, the Oil Industry Development Board, the Oil Industry Safety Directorate, Center for High Technology, Petroleum Explosives and Safety Organization, and other statutory and regulatory authorities, banks, and financial institutions for their guidance and valuable support. Let me also convey my sincere gratitude to all our valued stakeholders, including our customers, contractors, and vendors, for their patronage and support. On behalf of the board members of CPCL, I would like to share our appreciation for the valuable contributions made by the non-executive directors, Sri Manoj Sharma, Sri Amitabh Mathur, and Sri Maineni Narayana Rao during their tenure on the CPCL board. Last but not the least, I thank each of you, our valued shareholders, for joining us today and look forward to your continued support in strengthening and improving your company's performance in the years to come. Stay healthy, stay safe. Jai Hind. Now I request the company secretary to inform the agenda of the meeting as well as the voting process. Mr. Shankar.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I will briefly inform the details of resolution and the agenda. As per the notice of the AGM, resolutions proposed for approval of the members are ordinary businesses. 1. To receive, consider and adopt the audited financial statement of the company, standalone and consolidated, for the period from 1st April 2021 to 31st March 2022, together with the director's report and the auditor's report. 2. To declare dividend on cumulative preference shares for the year 2021-22 and previous years. 3. To declare dividend on equity shares for the year 2021-22. 4. To appoint a director in place of Mr. S. M. Vaidya, DIN 06995642, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers himself for reappointment. 5. To appoint a director in place of Mr. Rajiv Ailavadi, DIN 07826722, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers himself for reappointment. Special businesses. 6. Appointment of Mr. Arvind Kumar, DIN 09224177 as a director. 7. Appointment of Ms. Shukla Mistry, DIN 09309378 as a director. 8. Appointment of Dr. C.K. Shivanna, DIN 09398521 as an independent director. 9. Appointment of Mr. Ravi Kumar Rungta, DIN 00993270 as an independent director. 10. Ratification of remuneration of cost auditor for the year 2022-23. In line with the provisions of Companies Act 2013 and SEBI Listing Regulation 2015, the company had provided remote e-voting facility to the members to cast their vote on all the 10 resolutions. The remote e-voting was open from Friday the 19th August 2022 to Monday the 22nd August 2022. The members who could not exercise their vote through remote e-voting can cast their vote now by clicking e-voting option available on the screen. As the resolutions are put up for approval through e-voting, there is no requirement for proposing and seconding the resolutions. Thank you.
May I now request the members to raise queries on the annual report, the financial statements, and agenda of the meeting. With a view to facilitate participation of more members and to provide equal opportunity to speak, the time allotted to each speaker is maximum of 2 minutes. The moderator shall monitor the time. The members are requested to avoid repetitive queries, observations already raised by other members, so as to enable adequate time to other shareholders. I would reply to the questions on a consolidated basis after all the members have raised their queries. Moderator will now call one by one those members who have registered to speak.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Good evening to all the dignitaries who are present. This is your moderator here. I will be calling out the names of the individuals who have registered as the speakers and would request them to kindly unmute themselves, switch on their video if they wish to do so, and continue asking the question. The first speaker is Ms. S. Padmavati from Chennai. Ms. S. Padmavati, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself, switch on your video, and proceed with asking the question, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. I am Padmavati, holding folio number MRL 002607. First, let me congratulate the management and the employees of CPCL on the exceptional performance with record profitability and on getting back to the dividend path. Given the performance, would like to know what has led into the increased profitability of our company in the years 2020-21 and 21-22. Thank you.
Thank you. We would move on to our next speaker, Mr. Anil Sani from Chennai. Mr. Anil, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please.
I am Anil Sani, shareholder of the company, folio number IN 300-4411-058-0571. I too would like to congratulate the management on the excellent performance in the last financial year. I have two queries. One is regarding CPCL's export performance in 21-22. You can share some details. And second one relates to the plans for EBMS in CPCL. Thank you, sir.
Could you repeat your second part of the question?
Mr. Anil, you are requested to unmute yourself and proceed with asking the second part of the question, please, as requested.
Yes, please. My second question was related to the plans for production of EBMS in CPCL.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anil. Our next speaker is Mr. Santosh Saraf. Sir, I see that you are logged in as Mr. Sanjog Saraf. Would request Mr. Sanjog Saraf to kindly unmute himself and proceed with asking the question. Mr.
Mistake in judgment. Sorry, sir. My name is Santosh Kumar Saraf, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Then, sir, can I speak in Hindi with not a problem, sir?
कृपया हिंदी में बात कीजिए, please. Thank you.
आदरणीय सभापति जी, उपस्थित निर्देशक मंडल सदस्यगण, मेरे शेयरहोल्डर भाइयों बहनों, मैं संतोष कुमार साहब कलकत्ता से आप सभी को नमस्कार करता हूं। आशा करता हूं इस समय आप सुरक्षित और स्वस्थ होंगे, सर। मैं सर कंपनी मैनेजमेंट को धन्यवाद देता हूं इस साल काफी अच्छा रिजल्ट देने के लिए, और आपने जो डिविडेंड दिया है 2 रुपया, वो भी काफी अच्छा दिया, सर। इस कोविड के टाइम में 2 रुपया डिविडेंड देके आपने बड़ी अच्छा काम किया, सर। और एक सर, ये मेरे को फ्यूचर में नया प्रोडक्ट क्या आपने बनाया है और क्या प्रोडक्ट बना के बाजार में छोड़ने के विचार है, ये बताने का करिएगा। और फ्यूचर में सर आपका क्या विचार है एक्सपेंशन के बारे में, ये भी बताने का करिएगा, सर। सर आपके यहाँ एक तो वुमेन एम्प्लॉय की संख्या काफी कम थी है, 146 मेल एम्प्लॉय में सिर्फ 79 फीमेल एम्प्लॉय, सर। तो इस गैप को कम्प्लीट करने के लिए क्या सोच रहे हैं, सर? अभी तो अपने देश के प्रेसिडेंट भी वुमेन है, सर। वो भी आदिवासी महिला नीचे से उसके ऊपर आई है, सर। और हमारे फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर भी वुमेन है, सर। और अभी कॉमनवेल्थ जो शेष हुआ उसके में वुमेन एथलीट मेडल ज्यादा प्राप्त किए हैं जेंट्स से ज्यादा। और मैं सोचता हूँ कि वुमेन काफी अच्छा काम कर रही है, सर। और अभी तो लेबर मिनिस्ट्री भी अलाउ कर दिया वुमेन को डे नाइट एवरी वर्क करने के लिए। आप इसे जरूर विचार करिए, ये जो गैप है ये डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है वुमेन एम्प्लॉय के लिए, मैं समझता हूँ। इसे विचार करने की चेष्टा करिए, सर। एक सर आपने रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग की क्या व्यवस्था की, इसके बारे में बताइएगा। और रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के बारे में क्या व्यवस्था की है ये भी बताने खर्च करिएगा सर। एक सर 2000 से अपने काफी टेस्ट डिस्प्यूट केस पड़े हुए हैं ईयर 2000 से, इसके बारे में क्या है। और एक केस 91-92 से पेंडिंग है सर, छोटा अमाउंट का है, तो आज से ये करीबन 31-32 सालों में क्यों पेंडिंग, इसके बारे में जरूर बताइएगा। और इसको मैं चाहता हूँ छोटा अमाउंट है, किसी तरह अगर आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटल होता है तो क्लीन करिए सर, ये मेरी रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी सर।
Mr. Santosh, would request you to kindly wrap up your question, please.
1 minute sir, 1 minute.
Thank you.
I think this is the last term for BC for me. सर तो ये है कि आपके अदर एक्सपेंसेस भी काफी ज्यादा हैं, लास्ट ईयर से 50% एक्सपेंसेस ज्यादा, उनको भी कैसे कम करेंगे इसके बारे में विचार करिए सर। और ज्यादा मैं समय नहीं लूंगा सर, मैं चाहूंगा जितने भी अपने कर्मचारी हैं और जितने भी कंट्रैक्टर कर्मचारी अगर सुन रहे हैं तो मेरी बात को जान सके तो तीसरी डोज अमृतकाल केंद्र में वो जरूर ले लें। मैं ये इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि मैं भी कोविड से सफर कर चुका हूँ 3 डोज लेने के बाद में, 3 डोज लेने के बाद में मैं जब सफर किया तो मुझे कोई ज्यादा मैं ज्यादा असर हुआ, इसलिए मैं चाहूंगा कि आप लोग भी सब डोज ले लीजिए, अच्छा रहे। और सर लास्ट में ये बीसी मीटिंग काफी अच्छी है, अगर आप फिजिकल मीटिंग करते हैं तो बीसी मीटिंग जरूर करिएगा। और जो जो प्लेटफॉर्म काफी अच्छा है, मैं चाहूंगा इस प्लेटफॉर्म को आप लगातार ज्वाइन करिए। और मैं मॉडरेटर को भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ, उसे 2 बार मेरे को टाइम रिमाइंडेड किया, उसके लिए भी धन्यवाद। और उनकी लंबी उम्र हो, ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगा सर। एक बार आप जितने भी डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी अधिकारीगण हैं, जितने भी हमारे कर्मचारी हैं और उनकी फैमिली की लंबी उम्र की कामना करता हूँ और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ, भगवान आप सभी को इस साल 2022 में वेल्दी हेल्दी प्रोस्पेक्ट सेफ्टी के साथ देती तो और कंपनी के अच्छे भविष्य के चारों और आर्टिकुलेशन आपकी लीडरशिप में अच्छा डिसीजन में धन्यवाद। मॉडरेटर आपको भी धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
Thank you, Mr. Santosh. We would request Mr. Keshavan Chakravarti from Chennai to kindly unmute himself and proceed with asking the question, please.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Kesavan Chakravarti. My folio number is MRL 001173. Congratulations for the excellent performance of CPCL for the year 2021-22, sir. I want to ask you only one question, sir. What are the initiatives of CPCL for sustainable development? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Dinesh Gopaldas Bhatia. Unfortunately, he has not joined this meeting as of now. So we'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Murali Padmapriya from Chennai. Mr. Murali Padmapriya, requested to unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Murali Padmapriya, shareholder of the company. My folio number is IN 306-11-411-743766. Sir, I would like to know what are the initiatives by CPCL for the well-being of Chennai population during COVID? This is the only question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Meena Agarwal from Mumbai. Ms. Meena, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please. We see that she has not joined the event as of now. We would move on to our next speaker, Usha Devi from Chennai. Usha Devi, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Usha Devi Sadasivam, shareholder of the company. Folio number IN 30302874891148. Sir, what are the safety precautions taken in the project site to combat COVID-19 pandemic? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We will move on to our next speaker, Mr. Ranendra Kumar Bhaumik from Calcutta. Unfortunately, he has not logged in at this point in time. We will henceforth move to our next speaker, Mr. R. Shankar from Chennai. Mr. R. Shankar, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please. Mr. R. Shankar, if I am audible to you, request you to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please. Well, unfortunately, we have not received any input from Mr. R. Shankar, so we'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla from Hyderabad.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Sorry, my apologies. Mr. R. Shankar, you can continue.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening, Chairman, sir, Managing Director and other directors. Myself, R. Shankar, shareholder, client ID 41212892. Chairman, sir, I am very glad to note the profit figure of 1,342 crore rupees after tax for the year 21-22 and 2,359 crore after tax for this first quarter of 22-23. Kudos to CPCL management and its employees. Sir, I have only one question, sir. Sir, other than this Kaveri Basin Refinery project at Nagapattinam, is there any other project planned in the Manali refinery? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We would move on to our next speaker, Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla from Hyderabad. Your request to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please. We have not received any input from Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla, so we'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Sukumar N from Chennai. Mr. Sukumar N from Chennai, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I am Sukumar, shareholder of the company. My folio number is IN 30302872781662. Congratulations to all the employees of CPCL for excellent performance during the year 2021-22. My question is whether CPCL has any customer grievance redress mechanism. If yes, what are the complaints received from customers and action taken on them by CPCL? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Yashvi Kothari from Surat. Yashvi Kothari from Surat, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself, switch on your video if you wish to do so, and proceed with asking the question, please.
Hello.
Sir, you are audible. Kindly continue.
Thank you for the opportunity. Congratulations to the management for the good set of numbers in FY22. Just a couple of questions. First question is, what are the current gross refining margins? And second question is, July to September quarter expected gross refining margins.
Thank you, Mr. Yashvi. We would move on to our next speaker, Mr. P. Jaychand from Chennai. Mr. P. Jaychand, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please. Unfortunately, we have not received any input from Mr. P. Jaychand. We will move on to our next speaker, Mr. Kamal Kishore Jawar from Hyderabad. Mr. Kamal Kishore Jawar from Hyderabad. Moving on to our next speaker, due to lack of input, Shyam Sundari from Chennai. Okay, we have not received any input from Shyam Sundari from Chennai. So we'll move on to our last speaker, Mr. Abhishek Jain from Chennai. Mr. Abhishek, you're requested to kindly unmute yourself and proceed with asking the question, please.
Can you hear me, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
So my name is Abhishek, shareholder of the company. My DP ID IN 301637 and client ID is 41359155. So first of all, I congratulate the management on the eve of annual general body meeting. So trust all is well with you and your family. In this challenging situation, our company deserves much more respect than the current market cap after completing more than a decade of successful operations, profitability, dividend history, and becoming one of the strongest brands in our respective segments. And I would like to know how our business has been impacted in these past 3 years of this COVID time. The coronavirus and the subsequent lockdowns have left virtually no industry untouched after the COVID. So whether any employees have been sacked, hired, salary cut in percentage, if any, I would like to know from you, sir. And whether any salary cut was being taken by the management during the pandemic time. And we really appreciate the management for having declared a dividend even during the difficult times. The management has come forward to declare dividend for the minority shareholders. We are really glad and we are proud of the management of CPCL. We are really thankful to the company secretary for sending the link well in advance and to ensure that all the shareholders join to this virtual platform in this Zoom. So we are really glad that the company has provided us that kind of facility and that kind of company secretary to facilitate the minority investor fraternity. And nothing much to ask, sir. I wish the company, sir, then myself and my team are running a legal firm in the myself and team are running a legal firm in the name and style of Seven Wells Associates in Chennai.
Mr. Abhishek, can you wrap up your question,
to kindly enroll our firm in the empowerment of the company, and we will be glad to extend our services, sir. And nothing much to ask, sir. I wish the company and the board of directors a great success and prosperity in the coming future. And thank you for giving the opportunity. Hope to see you in the physical AGM next year, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. We have got the rest of the individuals whose name have been registered, but they have unfortunately not joined. For the records, it is Shama Sundari Narang, Vandana G, R. Swaminathan, and Mr. A.V. Mani Sundaram. So with that, Chairman, sir, we come to the close of the question session. We may proceed with the remainder of the session. Thank you.
So thank you, shareholders, for your queries. We would now take a break of 10 minutes in which we will be screening a film on CPCL. And after that, I will be replying to all the queries that have been raised by the shareholders. So may we have the AV, please?
Energy. Energy powers virtually every aspect of life on Earth and is directly linked to well-being and prosperity across. Energy consumed comes refinery to develop and supply by fulfilling the energy needs of maximize the distillate yield. For maximizing profitability and reducing imports has been installed and is operational. The DHDS, DHDT and OHCU Polytechnic College, in its Silver Jubilee year, is the first ISO certified institution of its kind in Tamil Nadu. The Polytechnic imparts top-notch technical knowledge city sewage water and seawater. CPCL Chess Olympiad held in Chennai. Of 2.5 MMTPA. CPCL today boasts a capacity of 10.5 MMTPA. CPCL by CPCL. The foundation stone for this complex was laid by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi on 17th of CPCL is the first and only Indian refinery to develop and supply fuel for defense sector DRDO jet engine. CPCL is at the forefront in meeting the nation's aspirations by fulfilling the energy needs of various industries. Yield for maximizing profits has been installed and is operational. The DH revamped for increase in capacity and to meet BS6 fuel specifications, while a gasoline desulfurization unit was commissioned to produce fuel as per BS6 requirements. A well-equipped R&D center provides technological support to the refinery operations on a day-to-day basis, with a step forward using cleaner fuel. Resort enhances CPCL Polytechnic College in its Silver Jubilee year is the first ISO certified institute